good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. Yes, it is Monday. It is January 22nd. We're almost done with the month, and it's supposed to be 50 degrees by Friday. I'm so excited. I'm going to talk about my weekend and get to my guests real quick. Friday, I was with some friends. Saturday, I did Murdered by the Mob in Manhattan at the Iron Bar in the Secret Room. Go to murderedbythemob.com for all our upcoming shows. And I want to thank everyone who went to the Sayville Theater the same night. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there to see the movie that I'm in called It's Love, Bro. It's a romantic comedy. So I want to thank John and Claudia Bonavita and my cousin Gary Tullaba and his beautiful wife Randy. Thank you for going and supporting my show, and I'm glad you loved it. And then yesterday, Sunday, laundry and football. That's what I did, and I'm studying some lines because this girl is filming something on Friday in City Island. So I'm so excited. I just want to really get to my guests because this is going to go fast and there is so much to cover. But he's an actor, he's a producer, he even sings. Al Sapiens is here. Hi, Al.
He is? Where? I'm excited.
How are you doing? I'm so excited. My nipples are hard.
You said it was Monday. It's Monday. I went out Friday. I haven't been home since, and I didn't realize it was Monday.
I haven't been home since Thursday.
It's been
a crazy week.
So hello, Theresa.
I am so happy to see you, my friend.
My pleasure.
We actually met back in 2021 at the Soprano Con / Mob Con show in Atlantic City. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun, and you ended up singing that night.
Yes, Deb and I opened the show with 5 songs. We did a tribute to Jim Gandolfini. We sang the prayer and had all the pictures of the Sopranos that have left us. It's pretty emotional.
Yeah, it was, and I've seen you a couple of times since. But I want everyone to get to know you. Tell everyone where did you grow up?
I was the youngest of 5 children, and my family are complete. My dad's Sicilian from El Paso, but we're Brooklynites. I was born in Bay Ridge Hospital in Brooklyn, which doesn't exist anymore. But since I was the 5th child, I never had a chance to live in Brooklyn. Like a few days after I was born,
that was it.
My father did well and moved up to the country in Rockland County in the suburbs, and I grew up with a cornfield, a pumpkin patch, an apple orchard. I had a mini bike.
Wow.
I actually am a country kid.
Country?
Yep.
Country boy. You went to Spring Valley?
Spring Valley High School, Caciat Junior High.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great place to
Then you
grow
went
up.
to Ramapo Senior?
No,
Senior
Ramapo was our rival, all my girlfriends came from Ramapo.
Oh, really? Okay. And then you studied at NYU, but I have to tell you, before you got into acting, music was like in your soul, and you took up the drums. It's a funny story. You actually took up the drums in like 2nd grade after you saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show.
February 9th, 1964.
You never forget.
I'll never forget. And this is in our show, Soundtrack of Our Lives. We talk about this, then we actually play She Loves You live.
Yeah.
I saw the Beatles. It just blew my mind. Everything about them, the sound, how handsome Paul McCartney was, and the next day I begged my father for drums, and he got me a gold snare drum, and one cymbal.
Right.
And I played that till 5th grade. At confirmation, he bought me a full pearl drum set. And
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating. I guess it got my tension out and stress. I was the youngest of 5 kids. I had a lot of stress.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would play the drums like every day.
And there you are. Look, you're there playing the drums.
Oh my
Look
God.
at that.
That's wild. Where'd you get that picture?
Hey, I'm a stalker,
That's
so
amazing.
I find pics.
I got that
Thank
leather
you.
jacket on Orchard Street in Manhattan, downtown Manhattan. But yes, I played every day
great.
till, unless I was sick, till 1982. And then I
You played and what is so ironic, and your story is, you have an amazing story, is that after you graduated from NYU, seriously, I mean, this is how fast stuff can happen. But after you graduated, 4 months after you graduated NYU, okay, I'm not going to say what year it was, but I will say.
I'm proud of my age.
All right, 1977.
I'm 47. No.
But I have to say, you landed a role in your first Broadway, okay?
Yeah, I was lucky.
Broadway at the
Winter Garden.
At the Winter Garden jukebox musical, Beatlemania. Hello, playing freaking Ringo Starr.
It was unbelievable. Thanks to Murray the K and Steve Lieber and David Krebs and Carol Kamen. Yeah.
I mean, that had to be a freaking pinch me moment.
It was unbelievable.
I mean, one minute you watch them on Ed Sullivan, and the next minute you're playing Ringo Starr.
Yeah, it was
Come
crazy.
on.
And Mitch Weissman played Paul. He was, people who didn't see Beatlemania, it just sounds stupid and that it's crappy. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was the grandfather to Jersey Boys.
Right,
The book of
right.
Beatlemania wasn't as good as Jersey Boys.
Right, right.
But the experience, the music, Jules Fisher did all the lights and special effects, and it was. People thought we were lip syncing. We had to rehearse 29 songs. The average song was 3.5 minutes, except for Hey Jude, for a year. So
Yeah.
we played the mistakes on those albums. We were the same consonants and vowels and pronunciation. It was so much fun.
So tell me how you landed that role.
I'll try and tell you the quick version.
Okay.
So at NYU, I was very frustrated with the acting program there. I didn't know what to do. So I went outside the school. I took one class with Joan D'Incheco, the head of daytime casting for ABC. And everyone was old. I was like 18, 19, and there was only one other young person in the class.
Right.
She was 18. She was this gorgeous, gorgeous young actress. So I'd get coupled up with her all the time for the scenes. So I'd go to her apartment and we rehearsed there. She was 18, her boyfriend was 50, but he was the coolest guy I ever met. It was Murray the K,
Right.
Murray Kaufman,
Right.
one of the kings of New York, like Joe Namath.
Yeah.
So he just took a liking to me and wanted to help me.
Right.
And he knew I played the drums since I was 8 years old, and he knew I wanted to be an actor. And,
Right.
and the little 18-year-old girl wound up being the highest paid soap opera actress in American history, Jackie Zeman from
Right,
General
from
Hospital.
General Hospital, yeah.
And Murray got me an audition and really pushed Steve and David to hire me. And I stayed in that show for 5 years. I saved up my money. I went out to LA and studied with Milton Katselas for 14 years. That's a whole other story.
Well, I didn't get to that, but
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that. No, but I'm glad you brought that up, because that, like you said, you saved your money and you moved to LA. I mean, was it a hard decision to leave New York? I mean, because did you know anyone in LA?
How long is this interview? So I could gauge how long I tell you these stories. No, really. How
It's
long
right
is it?
there. We're here for an hour. We're
Good.
here for.
So I'm going to tell you the real stories.
Okay, cool.
It was tough to leave. Like New York,
It's your hometown.
there's
it's
no
so
place
hard.
like it on
I
this
know.
planet.
Yeah.
Even with de Blasio when he was mayor, we've had our ups, we had our downs,
Yeah.
but it almost runs itself.
Right,
And I live on 72nd Street. I
Yes.
love Manhattan.
Yes.
It was tough, but I believed that I would get more focus and a better education in LA as
Okay.
an actor. I wanted to
Right.
do film and TV. I love
Right,
theater,
right.
and I wanted to do that too.
Yeah.
So my whole goal in Beatlemania was to save money and then go out to LA. And I hope it's okay I'm telling this story. So I get to LA and I need an acting class where I learn how to make a living.
Right.
I want to be an artist, but I
Right.
have to at least survive.
Right.
And it's just not happening.
Yeah.
So I go to this, and believe me, I don't mean to be mean by naming names, but the first place I study is Charles Conrad in Burbank, and forget the mother in in E.T., who I wound up playing her husband in a movie. She was their big star. Who's the mother in E.T.?
Oh, she's blonde.
Yes.
Oh my
She's
God,
a
I can't think of her
delight.
name right now.
Yes, anyway.
Someone will.
We
Put it
wound
on,
up,
put it on here, I'll read it.
we wound up playing husband and wife in a movie
Yeah.
where I was Rod Steiger's son, A
Okay.
Month of Sundays, in one of his last films. And then I studied with Peggy Fury. And Peggy Fury was Sean Penn's woman, and
Right.
Sean's a great actor.
Yes.
But she lived in the roof of her theater with her crazy, I shouldn't say that, with her eccentric husband.
Okay.
And I was thinking, like, if I
Better
do
word.
everything this woman teaches me,
Yeah.
I'll live in the roof of my theater with my eccentric husband or wife. Right? So that didn't work. So then I go to Tracy Roberts. And that was like a kindergarten class. She was late for every class. She'd bring her dog to class. It literally was like a kindergarten class.
Wow.
Tina Louise from Gilligan's
yeah.
Island was in it.
Yeah.
So it was a joke. One day, this guy does a really good scene in the class, and
Yeah.
I never saw him there. This is a true story. All these stories, I don't embellish them to entertain
I know.
you. So this guy does a scene, and he's good. And he comes back, and I was like, God, that was really good. Like, if you don't mind me asking, what have you done?
Yeah.
And he goes, just this. He goes, well, I played James Bond. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, I played James Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I was like, you're George Lazenby. This is for real. I loved On Her Majesty's Secret Service with Diana Rigg from the Avengers. So I never saw him again. So finally, people tell me to study with this guy, Milton Gonzalez. Like 50 people told me.
Right, he was the man to study with.
He was the man to study with. So there's a 6-month waiting list. I go for the interview. His underlings do the interview. And he has a seminar for the people that are on the waiting list to encourage them not to be upset.
Right.
So I go to this seminar.
Stick around, it's
Yes.
worth it.
I go to the seminar at the Matrix Theater on Melrose Place in Melrose Avenue in LA. And the guy pulls up in a black Mercedes 450 SEL with this gorgeous girl in his arm. He was just completely different. He was an absolute, I don't mean to use a word but he was a winner.
Okay.
Everything about him.
Right.
And he's lecturing us and he's like, and as soon as you make money as an actor, put it in real estate. Put it in real estate. This is what the guy is. I'm like, this guy, if I'm like him, I'll get a girl like that and that black Mercedes. This is the teacher.
I'm listening to everything he's saying.
So, and he said this, and he goes, let me tell you something. In acting, you have to be pushy. He goes, if you want to get in my class and not wait 6 months, call every Monday. Call every Monday.
Right, to see if someone dropped out.
So I called every Monday.
Yeah.
And within like 4 or 5 phone calls, I'm in the class.
That's great.
And this is no BS.
Yeah.
I walk into that class. It was August of 1984.
Okay.
Okay. Dirty Dancing came out in 87. Clooney wasn't on ER until I walk in this class. In LA, if you have a theater with 99 seats or less, you're allowed to use equity actors for like $20 a night. It's called equity waiver.
Okay.
So every smart theater owner has 99 seats. You can get the most ticket sales. Well, Milton owned his theater, and he owned the whole half of the block in Beverly Hills down to Olympic on Robertson Boulevard.
Wow,
so multi-millionaire.
That's why he said real estate.
Yes, he directed Butterflies Are Free with Goldie Hawn, her first movie,
Okay.
and Eileen Hackett won an Academy Award. He directed Bette Davis in the only TV Emmy she ever won.
Wow.
This guy was...
He was legit.
He was brilliant. I walk in this class. Listen, don't take my word for it. George Clooney, Patrick Swayze, Ann Archer, Kirstie Alley, Joan Van Ark, Anna Alicia from Falcon Crest, Donna Mills.
Donna Pascal.
Yes, and I'm
Donna
still
Pascal?
friends with her to this day. I'm friends with Donna.
Donna and I have been talking, and she said, talk to me after the new year,
her.
and I'll...
I love
Donna.
her. She'll come. I couldn't believe she was in that Travolta commercial when he was
I
sad.
know, I love
the coolest
it. I
commercial
told her, I
ever.
love it. Where you
that was
been?
the best commercial.
It's great, isn't it?
Donna.
So you had all these wonderful people
Oh my God, it
in
was,
that class.
And I wasn't an intimidated guy.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do a scene right away when you're a new student, and they give you the stage. I mean, can you imagine how long it takes to get a scene up with 99 real,
Yeah, it's a long time.
And they hadn't made, and you know who else was in it? Doris Roberts. Marie and Everyone Loves Raymond.
Yes.
3 Emmys.
I have a picture of you and Doris.
Me and Doris?
Yes, we do. I do. She directed you in something,
Yes,
didn't she?
the first play she ever directed, I was her leading man.
Yeah.
She studied with him for 29 years after she won 3 Emmys. So anyway, I'll let you get to the next one. I mean, I could talk about Milton's for a long time.
She directed you in something.
Yes,
I don't think you
called
have a shirt on. I don't know. It's
Screen
there.
Test Take
Yeah,
One.
there it is.
That's it.
Thank you. He's the best. Bobby Lazara's the best. Look at you. Tell me about this. So she directed you.
She directed me. I was her first leading man ever in a play she directed. It was called Screen Test Take One. And man, I had a hairy chest. What happened? What happened? Oh no!
Oh my God, that's funny. That's so funny.
She was the best. I loved her.
She must have been a blast.
She was great. Everyone in that class, it was one of the best times of my life.
Yeah.
And I stayed in it for 4. She was in it for 29 years. She studied with Milton for 29 years until he died.
Yeah, because her career really took off later in life, didn't it? For her?
Yeah. With Everyone Loves Raymond.
Everyone Loves Raymond was.
And she also was on the Remington Steele
so there's
as the
still hope
secretary.
for me.
Yeah, absolutely. She was on Remington Steele, remember?
Yes.
She was the secretary on that before.
Yes.
She's just a delightful human being. And that class was the best thing. And another thing for aspiring actors.
Yes. Preach, my brother. Preach.
If you want to be an actor, you have to give up middle class mentality. You have to give up trying. You cannot be a normal American. You can't. You can't have a normal family. You can't have a normal relationship. The career has got to come first.
It's true.
So
you have to be married to the career.
Yes.
You really do.
And it's
you really
okay.
do.
When Milton, our teacher used to say to us all the time, if you're in this for the money, get out of the room now.
Right.
He goes, if you are the best artist you could be, you're going to have 3 swimming pools. You're going to have like one in each house. He's like, you can't be doing this for any other reason than wanting to be a fantastic, actor, a craftsman.
Right.
So I forgot the point of this story, but it was a good point, but I just can't remember.
The point was you loved living in LA.
Yeah, no, I loved living in LA.
The thing is, you've been in this industry 48 years.
Yes, in
2026 you'll be in it 50 years.
Yes, my first job was 1976, my junior year of NYU on the Doctor's soap opera. And I was on it for about a year and a half. I had an under 5, which means you weren't allowed to have more than 5 lines. I was very lucky to have a union job at that age.
Right.
And I was an extra on All My Children, right? Because around then, and this woman was playing the waitress. She had the under 5.
Okay.
And she was telling me about this film she just did, and she's like, it seems good, but she had no idea the scope of her role. She had no idea how good she was. She had no idea what this movie was going to do, as many of us didn't have an idea what the Soprano was going to do.
Right.
You know who that waitress was?
No.
Donna Pesco.
Donna!
And I tell her that story every time I see her.
Well, I'm going to share the show with her so she sees this. That's a great story. I appreciate you telling me.
That's all right.
And we have to take our first break. Listen to me. Stay where you are. There's so much more with Al when we get back. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
What? Oh, we're coming back. Oh. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're here tonight because my friend Al Sapiens is here too. And he's an actor, and he is a producer, and he also is a singer. And we're talking about this amazing career that he's had for so long, really. I mean, you've been in this industry. I'm sure you've seen many, many things change.
Oh, man.
You know, you loved music. And it's funny because after you saw the Beatles, you wanted to, you know, get the drum set, you wanted to play in a band, but then after you watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, right? Sundance Kid, one kid. That's when you decided I want to do that instead.
Nanuet Mall Cinema, 1968. I saw Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I didn't know what a director did. I didn't know what a producer did. I wasn't even sure if they were real cowboys or not. I just wanted to do that. Whatever was going on that screen, I wanted to do it. I'm serious.
It's amazing. And then listen, you have like he's got like a plethora of creds here. I'm just going to read some of them off to you. But you did actually do General Hospital.
Yeah.
And then again, hello, when you're out in LA, a lot of shows in LA. You did Facts of Life, ER, Cagney and Lacey, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, Madlock, Dragnet, Pretty Woman. You know, let's throw in some movies. Hello, Who's the Boss, Frankie and Johnny, Married with Children, Melrose Place, Diagnosis Murder, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Lethal Weapon 4, Judging Amy. Then you have NYPD Blue, CSI, JAG, 24. I mean, on and on and on and on and on. And then in 1999,
98.
See, thank you. Fun
hit
fact.
the air in 99, but we filmed it in 98.
1998 to 2004 I have here. You did 10 episodes as
Mikey
Palmici on The Sopranos.
Yep, it drastically changed my life in every
And we have a pic of that,
way.
which we'll put up in a little bit.
For the better.
Of you. I think it's a black and white of you as Mikey. But tell me how that happened. This is a pivotal moment in your life.
Pivotal.
We went out. We
pivotal.
just went out. We went out before the show, and someone came up to you, and I know that voice, and I know, and it's wild, right? And I've got HBO on now, and you know, because it never went away.
No, before I tell you about that, I have to tell you how grateful I am to David Chase.
Oh, sure.
Elaine Landrus.
Yes.
I said Christopher Walken, Georgianne Walken, his
yes,
wife.
Georgianne,
and Jason Alexander. If it wasn't for Jason Alexander, I would not be in The Sopranos.
Wow.
Yep. And again, it was like, you know, you work as an actor, you work as an artist, and your work most of the time is the same. It's the same. And I say to young actors all the time, like, you could do 5 leads in horrible, low-budget movies. You know, it'd be good experience. The camera angles, the learning tech, lenses, all. But you do 4 words in The Godfather.
Yeah.
And if you have a brain, those 4 words in The Godfather, you'll have a career for the rest of your life. So it's luck what project you get in. A lot of guys could have played Mikey Palmici in The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I am extremely lucky. But before that, I studied with Milton Katselas for 14 years. You know, as I said, Tracy Roberts, Charles Conrad, NYU. So my craft was ready.
Yes.
And,
yes.
you know, I was the same actor I was 4 years before The Sopranos.
Right.
But, you know, until you get something.
But listen, it's 25 years, Bobby, all the way up, the group picks. It was 25 years, and I think we have that group pick right there. I think of all of you. I think that's it.
Yeah, we had a reunion. It was so nice. And
Is that it?
Yep, and there was no pressure.
Leave that there a minute,
Because we're not on the air anymore. We don't have to work. Everyone was just there loving and appreciating each other and remembering this time in our lives that was just spectacular.
And I think the one underneath it is from the 20th. Because I know you had one the 20th.
Yeah,
and
I was
had
at
one.
the 20th too.
Oh, no,
I don't know if I was in that. You know, I was in the 20th and I was there, but I don't think I was in the publicity picture.
Yeah, and then look, put up those black and whites real quick. I want to put up those headshots. Look at you back in the day. Hello. Hello, Al.
Yeah, those were the days.
And then there's another one underneath it. That's when our headshots were in black and white back then.
I had
remember?
more than 37 hairs that I have to manipulate just right with crazy glue.
And listen, you did print work.
Oh my
This is
God.
print work.
I did.
You did print work.
I don't know. Again, I don't want to, if I'm talking too much, tell me.
No.
So I have to tell you a story about
Tell me a
this.
story about that picture.
Act 2 hair cutters, I also did all their commercials. And I had a girlfriend that just broke my heart. My first serious girlfriend,
Yeah,
she lived
yeah.
with me at 24 Fifth Avenue in the Village. She was in Sugar Babies with Mickey Rooney and Ann Miller, and she wound up
Yeah.
having a relationship that I didn't know about while she was living with. And I'm telling you, I was like 21. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
I was first in Beatlemania. So I did this commercial, and I pull up in a red Maserati with this beautiful, buxom blonde and a tight dress.
Yeah.
And I get out of the car and I go, the best things in life are expensive, but to look your best is only $14 at Act 2 Hair Cutters. You get a cut, blow dry, and wash for and then the two of us walk into the salon.
Oh, yeah.
And then I sit in the seat, and she winds up being my hair cutter and cutting my hair.
that
It was the
is so-
cheesiest commercial.
That is so
I
funny.
got paid like it was a buyout. I got paid nothing, and it was on channel 5, 11, and 9, the local channels, 20 times a day. So it was all over the place. So I go with this girl who broke my heart to the premiere of Sugar Babies that she's in with Mickey Rooney and Ann Miller.
Yeah.
And I was just, at that point, I was devastated already. We were breaking up. And we're online, and it was all the heavy hitters. Terry Allen Kramer produced it. Her father is Charlie Allen from Allen and Company. They
Okay.
owned Columbia Pictures at the time.
Yeah.
So everybody's there, and Warren Beatty's sister is in front of us.
Right.
What's her name? Shirley MacLaine.
Shirley MacLaine.
So Shirley MacLaine, and as she walks up, we were going down the red carpet, everyone's like, Shirley MacLaine, and then all these little girls go, it's the Act 2 man, it's Act 2. And I got a little professional satisfaction out of that. For the
That's
woman who broke my
hysterical.
heart.
Oh my God. But doing The Sopranos, working with, I've had Audie Pasquale on, and I've had, really, it's
Audie's
an
great.
amazing, just an amazing cast and just an amazing time. And, it's like The Godfather. It's iconic. It's epic.
It's great. We were so lucky. It's a great. David Chase just was a great writer, and so was Mitch Burgess and Robin Green and Wiener, and they were all just great. Terry Winter. It was iconic. You still watch it. It's timeless.
Yes,
also.
exactly. It is.
Because it was a very specific time in that show and a very specific environment they were in.
Right.
So. You want to hear how I got this job through Jason Alexander?
Yeah, how'd that
Wanna hear the story?
happen?
So in 1992,
Okay.
I was doing, as I told you before, but we weren't on the air, if you're in a theater that's 99 seats or less, it's called Equity Waiver. And so I'm doing an Equity Waiver comedy called Misconduct Allowed. I'm playing a stand-up.
Okay.
And he's like a real womanizer, but he's having sexual problems. So he goes to see a psychiatrist because he's having sexual problems. He falls in love with the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And it was at the Tiffany Theater on Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
This millionaire woman owned it.
Okay.
And she didn't care if she made money or not. They were two fabulous theaters. It was right on Sunset, and she owned the whole office building. And in the theater next door, Jason Alexander, before Seinfeld, it was just starting, was doing Give Him Hell, Harry. And he was playing Harry Truman in a one-man show. So we'd share a dressing room.
Yeah.
So we became really good friends. And this is
that's cool.
before his fame at Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It was summer of '92. So we became buddies. And, I didn't see him that much. He was a big star and busy. And The Sopranos, Seinfeld is coming to an end. It's 1998.
Yes.
Right around the time that I'm auditioning for The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I was in Godzilla. I was in two Godzillas. I was in like 2014 and the one in '96.
Right.
So I was in from LA at the premiere at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And I get a call from my agent that Jason Alexander wants me to read for the first movie he's directing called
Wow.
Cherry Pink. Anthony LaPaglia got my role.
Okay.
But while I was auditioning, and it's funny, I knew I wasn't going to get the role because Jason and I are friends, and he was like, Al, that was really good.
Yeah.
And when a friend says that to you, they're saying it because it was really good.
Right.
They're not going to have a chance to tell you on the set, but you're not right for the part. So I knew I didn't get it.
Right,
I knew
right,
it, but he goes, that was
right.
great. That was a great choice. So
Yeah.
I'm sulking out of the room. and his casting director, and usually I do my homework, but because it was Jason, I didn't even know anybody else there. I was like, I was in a hurry. I'm on vacation in New York watching the screening.
Yeah.
So this woman says to me, are you interested in doing a TV series? And I think to myself, I'm like, no, I'd rather be a busboy, actually. No, I'm thinking to myself, and do that for the rest of it. So she said, we're having trouble casting this role.
Really?
We don't want a real Goomba for this guy. We want him a little cleaned up.
Right.
And we're having trouble casting it.
Yeah.
Just the whole conversation. Go to my office. My assistant is going to give you a script,
Right.
sides, and a tape of the pilot,
Okay.
which was shot a year before.
Right.
So I go. It's Georgianne Walken, Christopher Walken's wife.
Right.
I pick up the pilot, the thing, and I don't think twice about it. It says Sopranos. I think it's about like singers, opera singers.
Right.
So I go up to my parents in Rockland County, and we watch the pilot.
Okay.
My mom, my dad, my oldest sister Joanne, and me.
Yeah.
There were 3 kids missing.
Yeah.
I was stunned. It
Really?
was like a Scorsese
They looked at you and
moment.
said, "You have to do this."
Everybody was like, when it ended, we were like, whoa, we wanted more.
Yeah.
And that's when I got a little nervous because I wanted the job really badly. And I just thought the pilot was brilliant.
Right.
It was, at that time, everything was NYPD, with the camera jerking.
Right.
Each scene is 6 seconds. This was like, it opens 2 minutes on a painting and on a sculpture and then slowly goes up to Jimmy's face.
Right.
It was like, it wasn't cut for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a work of art. So I read.
Yeah.
And it was like a Thursday. No, it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Called me back on Friday. David was at all these auditions. Called me back Monday. Gave me the job Monday. Sent me to wardrobe. On Tuesday was the first day of principal photography of the rest of the series in Kearney, New Jersey. And I was in the scene where Tony comes out and antagonizes me in the car.
Yeah,
about,
the
Can
car.
I curse? Where he goes,
No.
Oh, telethon for blank face-itis. Telethon for blank face-itis.
It's a great scene. It's a great scene. He messes with you.
Yeah,
he messes with you in
me.
that scene.
And,
It's a fun scene.
What a delight.
Great.
I got to knock on wood. I've just been extremely lucky for a man of my abilities.
Oh boy, thank you for sharing that.
It's
I
okay.
appreciate that story. And I appreciate everyone watching and liking the show and supporting Tea Time. Michael Norton's watching in Florida, and everybody, thank you so much. Listen,
Michael.
we have to take my next break, but stay right there because there's so much more to talk about. Okay, we'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Hi, I'm Georgia Rose, founder of Zenkuda. You can watch me on the Soul Space podcast every Friday at noon on Channel 20 for spiritual guidance. And as you all know, that is how I first opened into my own psychic gifts, was through the angelic realm, astrology. So we've got Mars and the Sun together in Scorpio, which creates a lot of combustion. In the astrological world, we call that a kazemi, and tarot. With the Four of Cups right side up, it means we have a lot of choices to make, and we're not looking at what's really being divinely given to us. We're too busy in the busyness of the choices to really see the divine intervention, the divine timing, and the divine guidance. We're the place. Watch the Soul Space podcast.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci, Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook, Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love. We'll put him up. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm with Al Sapienza, and I'm so excited he's here. You really made my night by
sweet.
coming to
Thank
the
you.
studio. I
It's my
appreciate it
pleasure.
because, like I said, we met a couple of years ago, and then I bumped into you at Paul Borghesi's, what was it, Vault? I'm not saying it
the
right.
Italian
You say it.
American feast and celebration.
Thank you, because you've been doing
Sons
it.
of
Because you've been
Italy.
doing it a long time too. You've been
Since the
performing
first
there.
year I sang there every single year.
Yeah, and this is a yearly thing that he does, and you were there, and I'm like, Al, we met at Sopranos, rom-com, can you do my show, please? And you're like, yeah, I'll do it. And I know you're a
great.
very, very busy
You
man.
did your
You're all
homework.
over the
Your
place.
research is so impressive.
Thank you. I try. Listen, it's not my first rodeo, but let's continue because there's so much to talk about.
And the thing about me living with the two other guys, it was just a summer thing. Just kidding.
So after Sopranos, that opened up a lot of doors for you, obviously.
Oh, man.
2006 to 2008, you did Brotherhood, was a TV series. You played the mayor.
Yeah,
Hello.
Frank Panzarella.
Yes,
Yep.
and that was great. And then from there, hello again. Putting on my glasses because there's a laundry list
Prison
here.
Break.
Hello.
Prison Break
You
was-
did Fringe. You did Without a Trace. Guns, Dark Blue, The Border, The Bridge, Days of Our Lives, The Listener, White Collar, Sanctuary, The Casting Room, Unforgettable. Then it goes on. Then you did Blue Bloods. Hello, Blue Bloods. We have a picture there somewhere. We're going to throw up pics at the end. You did House of Cards. Marty Spinelli. Spinella.
Marty Spinella.
Spinella.
That was another turning point in my life.
Yes.
Doing that
Yes.
series. And what I loved about it, I got to play an educated, highly successful Italian. You know, I love playing mafia guys.
Right,
I love
right,
playing,
right.
crooked cops.
Right.
But to play a high-level functioning human being in
Yeah,
Washington, D.C. in the
yeah,
inner circle,
yeah.
it felt really good. It just felt good.
Yeah, it's good.
Because
You
I'm
look-
not as stupid as I look.
No, don't say that. 2014. Hello, Gotham.
Gotham was
Dick
great.
Lovecraft.
Yeah, they shot me in the head in that one too.
They did. Then you were in Ascension. You played Councilman Rose.
That was a great show. I don't know if you ever
Yes.
saw. That show got more ratings than it was a miniseries.
Yes.
It got higher ratings than the hit series on Sci-Fi that
Yeah,
were on.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that
yeah,
was a
yeah.
blast. We worked
And then
with
back
Tricia
up,
Helfer.
yes, House of Cards. Marty, we said that, 2013. Then, hello, you also did Person of Interest.
5 years.
And
yeah.
you played Detective Raymond Tierney.
That was Taraji Henson's partner.
Yes, and I love that scene with you and Taraji. It's so good.
Thanks.
It's so good. I mean, he's just so good. And then 2016, Elementary.
Yeah, that I just did one episode, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but
too.
hello. I mean, and then it goes on. Hello, Shoot the Messenger. You did Ransom. You did Shades of Blue, Rogue, Private Eyes, God Friends at Me, which was such a good show.
Oh, that was a lot of fun,
I love
God
that
Friends.
scene.
That
I
was
love
a
that
good-
scene. You were so
Thank you.
good
Thank you,
as the
thank you.
father. I love it. You did Blacklist, Pure, SWAT, The Good Fight. Oh, hello. And you did the George movie. Hello, Big George Foreman.
Let me tell you something. I was proud of that movie. That was an inspirational, good movie, and I
Yes.
was really proud to be part of it. That was a good
Yes.
film. I like doing stuff that's good.
Yes. And you
But
did.
I'll do anything. I'll do a dog food commercial and pay the dog. I got a kid in private school. Just keep that in mind.
Work is work. Work is work, people, right? A job is a job. I mean, that's the bottom line. But then you also did Suits
Suits.
in
that was a lot of
2017,
fun.
right? You played
2
Thomas
years. I did
Bratton.
that 2 years. I
Right?
did,
You played
2
Bratton.
seasons.
Okay.
Thomas
Then
Bratton.
we have to go to a comedy, a mob comedy, which all our friends were in,
Right.
called The Family's Feud. Okay, and that was with Bruce Sosha,
Yep.
and you have
Bruce is great.
Stu Rispoli, and you have. Am I saying that right? No, I'm not saying it right.
I can't remember
It's
how
not
to pronounce it
Rispoli. I'm
either.
thinking about Michael
Oh,
Rispoli.
Michael Rispoli. He
I
wasn't in
apologize,
film.
Stu.
Michael's great.
I
Michael's
apologize.
great. He's not in Family
And then you had,
Feud.
hello, everybody pretty much from Gravesend is
He's
in that
with
movie.
Gersh Agency. They wouldn't let him.
Everybody pretty much from Gravesend is in that movie. You have
Yes.
William DeMeo, you have Peter Gaudio, you have Joseph D'Onofrio, you have John Fiore, I mean, everyone's really in that. But how much fun was that comedy? I
It
mean,
was a blast.
It was hysterical.
It was a blast. And my singing partner played the chauffeur in
Yes,
the limousine.
yes.
And Willie DeMeo, I gotta hand it to that guy. Like, he just gets it done. So many people just talk about what they're going to do, but Willie DeMeo and Steve Stanilis is another one. You know,
Steve
they
Stanilis,
don't
yes.
have studios giving paying for all
Yes,
this stuff. They
yes.
get the work done,
Yes.
and let me tell you, it's a very
It's
rare
not easy.
quality.
No,
in
it's
this business.
and it's not easy.
I'm,
But
I'm
again,
impressed with them.
leading to that is William DeMeo and Gravesend, which is a TV
Oh.
series right now on Amazon Prime. I'm actually in season 2, episode 8. If you see Fran Drescher, you'll see me. But you play Salvi Vincenzo.
Yeah, I got killed in that one too.
tell anybody in case
Oh
they didn't
God,
see
I'm
it.
sorry. It was on, but it was on the air for like
No,
a
it's
year
okay.
already.
They saw it already. They saw it
I
already.
get
But you
killed
were
in
very
everything.
good. You were very good. You were
And
very
people
good.
who know me
But you had a
personally, they
big
wanna
mouth.
kill me too.
Listen, you had a big mouth. Salvi had a big mouth, and I have to say that was a great scene with you and Renee. I mean, I really loved it.
He's a sweet guy, too.
Isn't he a sweetheart?
When they threw him
We're going
off
to
the
Philly in
boat.
May for his birthday. You
Oh,
know,
that's-
every May. We're
Really?
there for his birthday.
Well, maybe I'll
You got to
come.
come
Maybe
this
I'd sing
time.
down there.
You do. We're
And it-
preparing already for it.
That'll
You
be
don't know.
great.
It's a big thing. And then 2020, you did a really sweet Christmas movie called Deck the Heart,
Yeah, my little
which was
kid
Candace
was in it too.
Cain's.
Yeah.
How sweet was that movie?
I did 3 of her movies. She's another one. She's like Willie DeMeo and Steve Stanilis. She gets it done. Like
Yes.
she just gets it. She's
Yeah.
made like 11 movies
Yeah.
for Hallmark and
Yeah.
and my little
I'm
girl.
gonna try to get her on the show. I'm gonna try to get her
You
on.
should.
She's
She's
great.
a good person to talk to. She's very
Yeah.
inspirational. Yeah, I did 3 of her movies. I just did a new one called Jar Full of Christmas.
Yes.
And that was a lot of fun. We shot way up in Lake Placid or something. But you know what? I love
Now
this
you,
business.
Al, you're all over the place.
I love this
okay, now you
business.
live in New York. You live in LA, and you also do you have dual citizenship
I do.
with
I'm
Canada?
a Canadian.
because
I live in
you're
Toronto
filming
also.
now. Is that where Reacher is?
Reacher was in Toronto.
Okay, so
Suits was in Toronto.
So you have like a dual citizen because
Yes.
you're in Canada a lot,
Yes.
and he is in the hit series Reacher.
And I'm also a citizen of Zimbabwe, if ever you're shooting there.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. I just thought he'd throw that in. Reacher, Amazon Prime, watch it, is a TV series. And the way you described it to me, it's almost kind of like a modern day type of vigilante thing. It's almost like
Death Wish.
like
Remember
Death Wish? I
with
love
Bronson?
Death Wish. Are you
Well,
kidding?
This is about a guy who just wants justice in the world. And it's a perfect time for it because this is almost like the pre-Giuliani New York right now. The United States is like that. The southern border's like that. The city, the subways. There's a lot of unjust things happening. Criminals getting released that night.
Yes.
You know, doing crimes 15, 20 times because of
Yeah.
Al Bragg and all the wonderful, left-wing liberals that we elect. So this guy, he travels the world and gives justice to people instantly that deserve it.
Right.
So I believe that's one of the reasons why the show is such a hit.
Right.
Because the state of our world and
Yeah.
crime in the inner cities is like it was in the 70s when
Right.
Death Wish came
Right.
out before
Right.
Giuliani. So I love it. And the great thing about that show, Alan Rickman, he's a great guy. Like, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
He's in real
Yeah.
life, he's humble, he's
Yeah.
generous,
Yeah.
he's a great guy. He is that character in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah, he is. He's just terrific.
So now, how often do you go back and forth?
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm shooting in Atlanta a lot. I'm doing NCIS right now.
You are?
I'm on the original NCIS right now. Tune in
Nice.
now for the next
Oh,
few weeks.
good.
And I can't tell you what happens, but
No, you can't.
what
That's
always
great.
happens to me.
Oh my gosh. So listen, Super Bowl's coming up.
Yeah.
You love playing football. This
Yeah, I
man
play every Saturday.
He plays every Saturday.
I'm an old guy.
But
and
do you have any predictions? Just to throw
Any
it out
what?
there. Any prediction for the Super Bowl?
I really wanted Buffalo to win last
So did
night.
I. So did I.
I love that guy. And
I
two
know, I
things
feel so
happened in
bad
the
for
last
Alan.
20 seconds.
Yeah,
He
I
threw
know.
that pass. They could have had a touchdown.
I know.
It was a little off. And then he missed the field goal. And, it was a missed field goal
Listen,
in the last 2 seconds.
Before we take my last break, Bobby, do me a favor. Just start from the top and let's just go through the picks because I have you. Not only I have some picks with you with
Joe Namath.
Okay, now
He was my hero
now wait.
my whole
Okay,
life.
now leave that there a minute. Let me tell you something. I love football. And my dad took me to my first football game, which was at Shea Stadium
Stadium
to
with the Jets.
see the Jets. And Joe Namath
my
was the quarterback.
God.
That
You're
was my
so
very
lucky.
first game. Okay.
I loved him. And I got to meet him here and at one
Thank
other
you, Bobby.
party.
But you have picks. There's you with Kevin. These are just pics of you and some singers and some celebrities. There's you and John.
You should let me tell you the Bon
That's a
Jovi
long
story.
time ago.
You should hear that story. It's a great
Good.
story.
Tell it. Can you tell it real quick?
Yeah. So
All right. Remember, you stop there. Go ahead.
I actually was campaigning with Alan Tipper Gore.
Gore,
It's a long
yes.
story in 2000.
Yeah.
So I'm invited to Bon Jovi's house. At that point, I don't really know who he is.
Right.
I only know him from the Submarine movie, which I thought he was great in.
Right.
I wasn't aware. I'm too old. Like after the set, my music kind of stopped in the early 80s.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's my fault. I mean, it's great music after that.
Yeah.
So I'm at his house. The people that are going to meet with Gore are put in a room, and it's sealed. There's only about 48 of us by the Secret Service, and there's 250 people out by the pool.
Right.
So I'm in this room by myself. I didn't bring at the time, I wound up going by myself. And I turned to this guy next to me, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Al Sapienza from The Sopranos." And he goes, "Hi, I'm John Bon Jovi. This is my house." That's a total true story. I'm like, "Oh, God, I'm sorry.
That's
I loved you
great.
in the Submarine movie."
Oh, my God, that's great.
And then he told me he wanted to be on The Sopranos. And he
Really?
called David Chase, and David's like, "You're too famous."
Yeah,
like, people
yeah.
will go,
It's hard
"There's
to see
John
him.
Bon Jovi."
Yeah,
right?
it's hard to see him
He
in
said
a-
you could only play yourself.
Yeah,
So anyway, he
that's
was
rough.
very nice. And then I listened to his music, and I loved
Wow.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
into some of his songs.
What you
Anyway.
got after that? Because we have you with singers and you and Liam Neeson.
Taken 3. He threw me out of a
Yes.
car at 70 miles
Yes,
an hour.
he did. And there's you and Vin.
Triple X.
Yeah.
I got shot in the eye in that movie too.
Yes, you did. And the makeup job was fantastic. Oh, Rob Reiner.
Oh my God. Alec Baldwin didn't show up for work. Alec just didn't show up.
Really?
He didn't call.
No.
So Rob Reiner had to take Alec's role. Alec, he wound up playing Trump on Saturday Night
Yes.
Live.
Yes.
It was that time
Yes.
at the beginning of the
Yes.
election with the Russian collusion, which was a
yeah.
complete made-up thing, by the way. And they and everyone's waiting for Alec Baldwin. So he calls, he goes, "Please, I want to do it one more time." So they wait like 3 days, and then he's supposed to show up the day I'm there. My scenes were with Alec, who I like and know.
Yeah.
And I did a movie with him called Thick as Thieves, and I worked with both his brothers, David. But anyway, he just didn't show. And the movie, Alec would have been great in the lead in this film. Rob Reiner is a fantastic talent, but he's a whole different type than Alec Baldwin.
Absolutely.
Alec
It's kind of
so
like
anyway,
going night and day.
I could tell you these stories forever. I'm sorry for talking your ear off.
No.
How much am I getting paid for this? No, I'm kidding.
Daniel Baldwin is in a sitcom called.
Good.
Well, we don't know which the name keeps changing, but right now it's called Recipes for Love, and I
So
did that.
glad.
I didn't have any scenes with him, but that was in
Good,
Philly.
good.
Listen, let's take my last break. When we come back, we'll continue with some picks, and then we got to talk about Al. Al's got a show coming up next month, and we have to go see him. So stay
Me?
right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that
we'll be
show.
right back.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Hey everybody, it's Theresa from Tea Time. What's my show about? I interview people in the entertainment industry, producers, directors, actors, and guess what? My show is on every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Channel 20 on Optimum TV. So tune in because it's fun, interesting, and exciting.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, who's your favorite guinea?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
These guys make millions.
I know.
And then they wind up with...
Hey everybody,
Hey.
we're back. It's tea time. I'm here every Monday at 8 o'clock. I'm just so excited that Al's here. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. And and my show goes so fast. I gotta have you back. But I just let's keep going with a couple of more picks. I don't know where we left off.
That is Jack Ryan. I played the Secretary of Defense.
Yes.
Did a few episodes.
Keep going. We're just gonna keep. Oh, that is you in the late great Ray Liotta.
At the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Great
Thank
guy.
you. Keep going. Up and that.
Pretty Woman.
Hello, Pretty Woman.
Thank you, Gary Marshall.
Yes, Gary Marshall. And I think there's a picture up. There's you and the boss.
Oh my God, I forgot.
And that's
about
the
that.
one from. That should be the one from The Sopranos, if I'm correct. Yep, there it is.
Wow,
there it
there
is.
it is.
Oh, Madonna me.
I was a young man.
Wow. All right, so listen, you also produced, and the first thing you did produce was 1995. You did The Gifted.
With James Matteo, with Jimmy
Yes.
Matteo, and Robert Pine from Chips, who played Sarge.
Yes.
That was something I had my heart in. It was about two brothers that were musicians. They were very poor. Their parents died, and music was their only ticket out of the ghetto. And I unfortunately became a drug addict, and my little brother made it.
Yeah.
And it was a good film.
Yeah.
And we got distribution, and I don't even know where it was. But you know what? We should bring that film back out.
Yeah,
Now,
you
Jimmy's
should.
big one
Yeah.
on HBO
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Band
yeah.
of Brothers. It was
Yeah.
a good little art film.
I love it.
And it played at the Cannes Film Festival. It wasn't in competition, but it showed at Cannes.
Nice. Hey,
and we all went.
that's nice. What else I have left up there? Anything? Oh, that's you
The
and
Art of
Miley.
Racing in the Rain.
Yeah.
That was fun too.
That was good.
Played
Oh, and there's you and George.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh.
Wayne
Hello.
Newton.
Hello, Wayne.
He's a great guy. I did a movie in Vegas he was involved in.
And
Gary
there you are.
Marshall.
That's when you did Pretty Woman. So listen, the last pick, if you could throw it up. What's that one? Oh, okay, leave that.
Beatlemania.
That's
me
you.
as Ringo on
That's
those
him.
drums.
That's
Yep.
you as Ringo in Beatlemania. Oh my gosh. That is,
I
again,
was
like a
from
pinch me
Liverpool.
moment. All right, so listen, I have to talk about what you have coming up. Thank you for
Yeah.
putting that up there. That is you with Deborah. And
Deborah Renard and I met in acting class in 1984.
Right.
She was on 186 episodes of Dallas when she was 20 years old.
Right.
Her third audition, she got on the show for a decade, and the #1 show in the world at 20. So from 20 to 30, she was just working nonstop.
Amazing.
And I met her, and she was still in acting class, Milton
Right.
Casellas' class.
Yeah.
And she sings. She's amazing.
Yes. Well,
So-
you both sing and you're both amazing.
Thank
and
you.
I want everyone to go to thecuttingroom.com.
February 10th, and you better go soon because
tickets.
it's practically
Is it
full.
almost sold out? Is it really?
Yeah, I have to pull tables for my
Okay,
friends.
so again, the
And
10th.
It's the hits of the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
And
You
we have
do
videos,
everything.
We have videos and slides, and we talk about and joke about how each of these songs affected our careers and our life. Like
Yes.
the Beatles
Right.
on Ed Sullivan, then
Beatles.
we do 2 Beatles songs.
But
and
you do Neil
Beatlemania.
Diamond,
Neil
which I
Diamond.
love when you do Neil Diamond. I have
Did you
to
see
say.
the show?
I did not
No, it's
see the
okay,
show
but you
yet.
see all the
I'm
videos.
going to see
I
the
gotcha,
show, but
gotcha.
I'll watch the videos. And when you do
thanks.
Neil
I love
Diamond,
Neil Diamond.
there's something in me that got a little warm on the inside when you do Neil Diamond. I have to
love
say,
Neil
your voice is amazing. You do
Thank you.
Sinatra, you do the Beatles, Billy Joel. You also do Broadway show tunes from like Phantom
Yeah.
and West Side
Les
Story, and then
Mis
you
and
do
West Side Story.
contemporary as well. So it's a really nice combination of music that
You'll
you do
never
cover.
have, for the guys out there, if your wives and girlfriends will love it. It's the best date night.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not
Right.
kidding.
It makes a
Usually
great-
these things
it makes
suck.
a great Valentine's
I'm
gift.
not supposed to curse.
Right?
When actors sing, it usually stinks. You're gonna love the show. It's totally entertaining from beginning to
And
end.
it makes a
It's
great Valentine's gift.
Yeah.
So again, that's February 10th, The Cutting Room. Go to thecuttingroom.com.
And March
for tickets.
21st, we're in LA, and
Okay.
every June we're in Cuneo, Italy.
That's awesome. And you know, Al is on Al Sapienza on Facebook and
Right.
Instagram, so you could always see, when he's going to be performing and what he's up to.
And I'm on NCIS on CBS the next few weeks, and also check out Reacher. It's
Yes.
great. Reacher's terrific. So is
Yes.
NCIS.
And you also worked with a friend of mine, Bobby Collins.
Yes.
You've also worked
Oh
with Bobby.
my God, down in Florida.
Hello.
We
I
opened
love
for
him. I've had
Bobby.
him on
He
my
was
show. I
great.
love him
He
to
was a
death.
riot, too.
Isn't he the
came
best?
out. Deborah pulled him out to sing some of Sweet Caroline on stage. We made him sing. That was funny. Bobby Collins. He's
I love
funny.
him. I'm going to send him the show too.
Tell him
Whoever
I
we
said
mentioned.
Hello, Bobby.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I want him back on the show. So listen, we have like another minute and a half.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to put out there before we go? Because this went really fast, and I'm hoping I covered everything I wanted to cover.
Okay, to you young actors, I got 60 seconds. If you want to be an actor, I'm not joking. You have to look at your friends in medical school and law school. Take a good look at them. You have to work harder. And they work 70 hours a week when they're doctors and the residents. You have to work harder to perfect your craft, learn who's writing and directing and producing what, and how to get work and make your craft be that you should be acting 20 hours a week minimal for free to develop this craft, so when a break comes like The Sopranos or The Godfather or anything, you're completely ready to just do the work.
Right.
That's my advice to you.
Yeah. No, I saw that 5-minute interview with you saying that. Doctors versus acting, seminars. You went to seminars on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You did scene study for years, and then,
Years,
meet
14
with
years.
people. And again, you got to make those relationships. And, you also compared it to being a pilot and putting in, how many hours the pilots put in, right?
10,000
And then when
hours
you're ready
before
for
they
that
do.
audition, you're ready. You nail it, and and you get the part. And again, the business end, and and working harder than everyone else. And my friend, you've done that. You've done that for a very long time. And again, I want to thank you for coming in and doing this. It means the world to me.
My pleasure. This is great.
It really did.
You did your homework. It was a great interview.
Thank you so much. And you come back anytime you want. My door is always open. And again, everyone, February 10th, thecuttingroom.com. I am thanking everyone for supporting me and loving Tea Time. It warms my heart. I want to just tell everyone, have a good week. Tell everyone you love them. And I'll see you next week. Ciao, everybody.
Ciao.